Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Caleb Thornton and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a lightweight honeycomb gaming mouse. This one's from CoolerMaster and it's the MM711, which is their revision, I guess you could say, to the MM710, which received some harsh feedback for its build quality. So stick around to see if this one's gonna be better, hear about the performance, features, and whether this mouse is gonna be worth the price and right for you. You can find the MM711 on Amazon for just $55, which is definitely a really fair price considering what the honeycomb gaming mouse market is kind of demanding right now as far as price on these. I would say this is definitely on the more budget-friendly side of the pricing of those mice. You can find it in either a glossy white or black, as well as a matte black, and also one that's called Wilderness, which is just a green color. So if you guys like a green colored mouse, they have that option available as well. The packaging, very simple, besides just getting the mouse itself with the cable coiled up on top. You also get an instruction pamphlet just to help you get going. Starting off with build quality and design on the MM711, and again, that was one of the biggest complaints with the 710 version, was a lot of issues with build quality, creakiness, bad side panels. So far, I'm really happy to say with my MM711, really solid so far. The one issue, which you could call it an issue, it's more of a nitpick if anything, on my left mouse click on the front here, once I click down farther, I get a little bit of creakiness in that click. Nothing too bad though. And then the side panel, if I push down hard enough, I'm actually like having to physically put pressure on this. Nothing you'll ever have happen to you when you're just daily gaming for daily use. Nothing that's caused issues for me that have been deal breaking or where I just can't use it. Overall, really solid, but of course, if you're looking for something to be wrong with it, you can probably find something wrong with it if you're actually gonna start, squeezing on these side panels. You can get those side buttons to activate, but nothing that's gonna affect you for day-to-day use. As far as the design of it itself though, the one I have with me today is the glossy white version, and I have to say I really like the look of it, especially with that RGB on it. It looks cool, it shining off that glossy surface on it. As far as the honeycombs design itself, I know that is like a select that people like. I personally not the biggest fan of it. I just don't like the way it feels on my hand a whole lot. And the holes on this honeycomb design itself are pretty big, which I find the biggest issue with it on my pinky side, because my pinky just kind of wants to rest in that first honeycomb hole, which isn't like obviously a deal breaker or anything. It just feels a little awkward and I don't like it the most. With some grips on the side, of course, that would kind of alleviate any of the honeycomb feeling on the side, and I think that would really help it as well. This mouse does come in 10 grams heavier than the previous version, the MM710, but even with it being 10 grams heavier, it is only 60 grams, so really lightweight still. You shouldn't have any issues as far as being lightweight unless you're just a really big sucker for having things as light as they can possibly go. 60 grams though, still feels really good and light in the hand. Overall, the shape, I would say it's on the medium size. Probably primarily going to be used for claw to fingertip style grip. It's kind of weird, like there's a really steep drop off on the hump back here, so if you do want to get into a palm, it just kind of creates this space back here on the back side of your, or the front side, I guess you could say, of your knuckles. So it feels weird for palm. If you had smaller hands, I would say you could probably get into more of a palm style grip on this, but for those of you like myself with on the larger side, maybe even medium hands, say mainly going to be using this in a claw to a fingertip style grip. So if you like that grip style, this mouse definitely feels really good for that. I would say it's kind of actually similar to the Viper Mini in form of dimensions. The one thing that is different is it is wider, which I like because it just fills out my hand a little bit more for that claw grip. Overall though, I really enjoyed the shape of it, especially for that claw grip. The cable on it is one of the better stock cables I've seen. I would say it's comparable to Razer's SpeedFlex cable, probably even better than that actually. It's definitely one of the closest to a paracord-esque, I guess you could say, type feeling cables out of stock. Overall, I think the cable is definitely a big win. You get 6 different programmable buttons on the MM711, which are configurable within CoolerMaster software. For switches, this is using Omrons, which if you've probably heard of those because they're used in a lot of different mice and they're generally just regarded as a good switch, giving you around a 20 million key press life cycle. And before we talk any more about them, I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys a sound test. Overall, I think they sound nice, really clicky and responsive. No issues as far as any issues with like double clicking or debounce time causing me any issues so far. Overall, really nice. I will say that there's basically no pre-travel on them, but there is quite a bit of post-travel on those front clicks, which generally post-travel doesn't bother me, and it doesn't really bother me on this mouse either. I just like to point it out to you guys because if it's something that you're sensitive to or you don't like, you're definitely getting quite a bit on this. I would say it's comparable if you've used a Razer mouse. I feel like all my Razer mice with those optical switches always come with a lot of post-travel, and I would say it's very similar to that, but it doesn't bother me personally. Pre-travel bothers me way more than post-travel, and there's basically no pre-travel on these. As far as side buttons go, they are pretty tiny, but they stick out enough from the frame and they have a nice texture on them, making them easy to find and also easy to get a grip on and use. Overall, they feel pretty nice, pretty solid. There is a decent amount of side-to-side play in them and a little bit of post-travel on them, but nothing too bad or out of the ordinary for side buttons in general. The scroll wheel is pretty raised. It's not the most recessed one I've seen, but it doesn't bother me. Overall, pretty smooth rolling, definitely not the most tactile, but also not completely free. You still get those tactile bumps in there, kind of like you're rolling over smooth bumps, if you know what I mean by that. Then right below that, you have your final button, which is your DPI button, which is able to allow you to cycle between your preset stages, which you can set in CoolerMaster software. Moving on to the bottom of the mouse, you do get 2 glides in the back, which are split apart on the left and right side, and then one kind of more wraparound on the front. They aren't the biggest skates. They do feel nice. On their website, they're advertised as being 95% PTFE, so good quality there. I will say though, I can tell the difference immediately between like the glides on this versus the Viper Mini, which have 100% PTFE. I will say the Viper Mini does have bigger glides too and kind of thicker glides overall, so it's probably not the best thing to compare it to, but I can definitely tell the difference between like say this and that. Although I'm still breaking these in a little bit, they're a little bit rough on the edges, but as they break in more, I think it'll just get better. Overall though, really nice, smooth, consistent glide. For the sensor, it is using a PixArt sensor, which is the PMW3389, which gives you a DPI adjustment all the way up to 16,000. So a good amount of range there, should be more than enough to accommodate anyone's needs as far as that goes. And so far, absolutely spot on, pixel for pixel tracking, no spinouts, no faultiness, as is usual with today's age of sensors and mice. Overall, I do think the MM711 is giving you exactly what you'd expect for $55, and I do think that is a good deal. I mean, you're getting a lightweight honeycomb gaming mouse, which is giving you good performance and features and exactly what you'd expect. Again, I don't exactly prefer the honeycomb feel, so for that reason, I would still take the Viper Mini over this, but I really need to put some side grips on this. I think that would really change the mouse overall for me and make me enjoy it a lot more. Again, for grip styles, if you have larger hands or on the bigger side of medium even, definitely claw, fingertip style grip is gonna be what's working best. Smaller hands, I could say you could probably get into a palm in it though, but it does have that steep drop off the neck, making it feel a little awkward for palm, but really nice feeling for claw to fingertip style grip. Overall, it's definitely gonna be a recommendation for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found the video helpful or informative, please do hit that like button for me and do consider subscribing for more content just like this. If you like tech reviews, then you'll have it coming very soon on the channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to stay tuned for those. And as always, if you have any questions about my time using the product or about it in general, definitely leave it in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to you quickly and with the best response I can, and I'll see you guys in the next one.